The studio lights glow, softly as the familiar theme music of the Kelly Clarkson show fades out. The audience erupts in applause as Kelly Clarkson walks to center stage, smiling, waving, radiating her usual warmth. The camera pans to the guest chair where Zoe Saldaña, elegant and poised, steps out in a sleek dark blue outfit. She smiles, but there's something restrained in her expression. Professional, controlled, guarded. Kelly claps enthusiastically. Kelly, everyone, please welcome the incredibly talented Zoe Saldaña. The applause grows louder. Zoe waves, takes her seat, crossing her legs gracefully. For a moment, everything looks perfect. Two powerful women. One stage, millions watching. Kelly, Zoe, it's so good to have you here. You've been busy. Films, producing, activism, family. How are you holding up? Zoe nods, choosing her words carefully. Zoe, busy, yes. Grateful too. But I've also been very intentional about how I use my voice lately. Kelly tilts her head slightly, sensing depth. Kelly, intentional is good. I love that. The conversation begins smoothly. They talk about Zoe's latest sci-fi film, the physical training, the long shoots. The audience laughs when Zoe jokes about learning fight choreography while raising kids. But beneath the polite laughter, the energy subtly shifts. Kelly glances at her cue card. Kelly, you've also spoken recently about representation in Hollywood. Some of your comments really sparked debate online. Zoe's posture straightens. Zoe, debate isn't always bad. Sometimes it's necessary. The audience murmurs softly. Kelly, true, but some people felt your comments dismissed other perspectives, especially from younger actors trying to break in. Zoe's smile fades just a fraction. Zoe, with respect, Kelly, I didn't dismiss anyone. I spoke from lived experience. Kelly raises her hands gently. Kelly, of course. I'm just saying that's how it was received by some. The word received hangs in the air. Zoe leans forward slightly. Zoe, and that's the problem. Women of color speak. And suddenly the focus shifts from the message to how comfortable it makes others. The audience gasps quietly. The band goes silent. Kelly blinks, surprised but composed. Kelly, I think we can talk about this without turning it into... Zoe, interrupting calmly but firmly, without softening it? A beat. The tension is now undeniable. The camera cuts to the audience, faces attentive, confused, intrigued. Kelly laughs nervously. Kelly, okay, this just got real. Zoe nods. Zoe, it already was. The stage lights seem brighter now. What began as a friendly interview is clearly heading somewhere unexpected. Fade out. The interview resumes after a brief commercial break. The applause is lighter this time, curious rather than celebratory. Kelly takes a breath. Kelly, before the break we touched on representation. I want to ask you something directly, and I hope you'll take it in the spirit it's meant. Zoe folds her hands in her lap. Zoe, go ahead. Kelly, some critics say that once actors reach a certain level of success, they lose touch with the struggles of newcomers. Do you think that's fair? The audience collectively inhales. Zoe's eyes narrow, not in anger but in focus. Zoe, do you believe that about musicians who succeed? Kelly pauses. Kelly, that's different. Zoe, it's not. The crowd murmurs louder now. Zoe, success doesn't erase memory. It sharpens it. I remember every door closed in my face. Kelly shifts in her seat. Kelly, I'm not questioning your journey. I'm reflecting what's being said. Zoe's voice grows firmer. Zoe, and by repeating it without context, you legitimize it. A ripple of shock moves through the audience. Kelly's smile tightens. Kelly, Zoe, this is a talk show. We discuss viewpoints. Zoe, and I'm discussing mine, but I'm being framed, not heard. The band leader glances nervously at the producers off stage. Kelly exhales. Kelly, I think you're reading hostility where there isn't any. Zoe leans back, crossing her arms. Zoe, that's easy to say when you're not the one constantly explaining your humanity. Silence, heavy, uncomfortable. Kelly's tone changes, still polite but cooler. Kelly, we want respectful conversation here. Zoe meets her gaze. Zoe, respect goes both ways. The audience is split. Some clap, others sit frozen. Kelly straightens her cue cards. Kelly, all right, let's pivot. Zoe shakes her head. Zoe, no, let's not, gasps Echo. Zoe, you invited me here to speak? Don't silence me because it got inconvenient. Kelly's eyes widen slightly. Kelly, I'm not silencing you. I'm managing a show. Zoe stands up slowly. The audience erupts. Confusion, applause, shock. Zoe, then manage this. I won't be talked over or reduced to a headline. A producer's voice whispers urgently from off camera. Kelly stands too now. Kelly, Zoe, please sit down. Zoe shakes her head. Zoe, no. The moment teeters on the edge of chaos. Fade out. The cameras cut to commercial abruptly. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere explodes. Producers rush in as Zoe walks off stage, heels clicking sharply against the floor. Kelly follows, clearly shaken but trying to stay calm. Producer, Zoe, we need to talk. Zoe turns, eyes blazing, not furious but deeply hurt. Zoe, no, you need to listen. Kelly steps forward. Kelly, this wasn't supposed to turn into a confrontation. Zoe, then don't ask loaded questions. A senior producer rubs his temples. Producer, we're live. This can't continue. Zoe laughs bitterly. Zoe, exactly. You want honesty until it disrupts the format. Kelly crosses her arms. Kelly, that's unfair. Zoe, so was that segment. The hallway feels too small, too bright. Another producer whispers, Producer 2, we're losing control of the show. The decision hangs unspoken. Kelly looks at Zoe conflicted. Kelly, I respect you, but I also have a responsibility. Zoe nods slowly. Zoe, and I have boundaries. A long silence. Finally, the producer speaks. Producer, we're ending the interview. Zoe exhales, not surprised. Zoe, so be it. Kelly's voice softens. Kelly, I wish this went differently. Zoe meets her eyes. Zoe, so do I, but discomfort is part of growth. Zoe walks away, head held high. The stage manager signals frantically. Stage manager, we're back in 10 seconds. Kelly straightens her jacket, takes a breath, and walks back on stage alone. Fade out. The cameras return. Kelly stands center stage, audience buzzing. Kelly, well, we're going to take a moment here. She forces a small smile. Kelly, sometimes conversations don't go as planned. The audience claps awkwardly. Kelly continues carefully. Kelly, we value open dialogue, but we also respect when emotions run high. She thanks Zoe for coming diplomatically and moves on to the next segment. But the damage or impact is done. Within minutes, clips flood social media. Zoe Saldaña walked off. Kelly Clarkson show meltdown. Heated clash goes viral. Comment sections explode. One tweet reads, Zoe spoke truth. They just weren't ready. Another fires back. Totally unprofessional. News outlets label it a walk-off. Blogs say she was kicked. Off. Hashtags trend worldwide. Backstage, Zoe sits in her car, phone buzzing nonstop. She doesn't answer. Instead, she posts one message. I choose dignity over comfort, always. The post gets millions of likes. Kelly later that night posts too, measured calm. Respectful conversation matters. I wish Zoe the best. The internet takes sides. Analysts debate. Fans argue. But one thing is clear. This was more than an interview. It was a collision of power, voice, and expectation. And long after the lights went out, the question remained, who really lost control of the show? Fade to black.